This isn't fiction. This isn't a movie. One of America's biggest cities disappeared in broad daylight. Not from war, not from flood, but from something far more silent: dust. This is the story of the day Chicago went dark, the day the skyline vanished, the day the world realized no city is safe. May 2025 started like any other early summer month in Chicago. But under the surface, a crisis was building. Temperatures were rising. Rain hadn't fallen in weeks. The land was bone dry. Farmers in western Illinois were already panicking. Crops were dying, dust was kicking up in the countryside. But in the city, life carried on. People went to work, kids went to school. No one thought that by 3 p.m., the sky would turn brown. It started with a gust, then another, and then the wind exploded. 50 to 60 mile-per-hour gusts swept in from the plains, straight toward the city. They carried more than just air. They carried a wall of dust. By 2:57 p.m., the western suburbs were already choking. Cars pulled over, emergency alerts buzzed phones across Cook County, but it was too late. At exactly 3:09 p.m., downtown Chicago disappeared. You couldn't see more than 10 feet ahead. The entire skyline, gone. People panicked. Drivers slammed brakes, pedestrians vanished into clouds of grit. It wasn't just hard to breathe. It felt like the air itself was scratching your lungs. Eyewitness. I opened the door and thought it was fog. Then I tasted dirt. We couldn't see anything. Not even the house across the street. Planes were grounded. Public transport stalled. The storm moved fast. But the fear? That lingered. Experts are calling it a perfect storm. But it was anything but natural. This was man-made: drought, overworked soil, dead farmland, and climate change pushing winds stronger than we've seen in decades. The Midwest has always been vulnerable, but never like this. The last time this happened on this scale, the Dust Bowl, 90 years ago. By 4:30 p.m., the storm had passed, but it left behind something surreal. A film of dust coated everything. Sidewalks, windows, parks, cars, all covered in fine earth. It looked like a scene out of a dystopian movie. Older voice. I've lived in Chicago 60 years. I've never seen the Sears Tower vanish like that. No injuries were reported, but for many, it was a warning shot. This wasn't a freak accident. This is the beginning of a pattern. As our world heats up and dries out, storms like these are no longer natural disasters. They're just normal. If you think cities like Chicago are immune, think again. The dust is coming. And it's not asking permission,